não entendi, filho. Eu não fiquei com o negócio. O escravo não pensa. Não chegar a pensa. Não tem disputas. É, não. Não. Penso em dizer, tá? É, a gente fica baixo.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Just waiting a bit for others to join. So let's see if we can give them about 3 minutes before we start. So whilst others are trying to join. All right, good evening once again, everyone. I guess we can start now. Others will likely join later along the way. All right, so good evening once again. My name is Olasome Ayodeji, and I'll be your facilitator for today, taking you on emotional intelligence. I really look forward to this being very interactive as possible. Let me switch on my camera. Okay, so I might be calling names, names of participants because I want to get to know you in ways that I can. And today will be discussed. Like I said, it's just going to be interactive. This is the introductory level. And I'm also welcoming you, using the opportunity to welcome everyone. So I realized that our first Kerma that I saw on the call was MM Ekong, if I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking that was the first person I think I saw on the call, followed by Kole Shaw Emmanuel, then Veratan, and then Joyce has joined us. I know it's possible we have some on YouTube who are joining us. So presently, this is being streamed on YouTube as well. So you're all welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you don't mind, if I call your name, like I said, I want it to be interactive. Today we'll be talking about emotional intelligence. I don't know if you've heard of that. So if you have, I don't know how familiar you are with that concept, but that's just what we're going to discuss today. On emotional intelligence, we want to discuss emotional intelligence, the types, and how to practice emotional intelligence. Interestingly, one way or the other, I'm sure you've been practicing emotional intelligence. But in the meantime, can I get to know you, Collier Shaw Emmanuel? Collier Shaw Emmanuel, how are you? Can you unmute yourself? I hope you admin, can you make it possible for them to unmute? So you're going to mute yourself, just say hello, Emmanuel, how are you? Veratan, I wait yours as well. Veratan, how are you? MMA Kong, I don't know. Yeah, Emmanuel, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, can I see your face? Let me see if you can just switch on your camera. Let me see your face to say hello to you. All right, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, that's good. Nice to see your face. All right. Okay, so we will try to make this as engaging as possible. Veratan, I can see you giving high five, so I don't know if that high five is that you want to say something. So please, Veratan, can you unmute yourself to say something? You can say hello to us, or you can ask a question, even before we start. Go ahead, Veratan. In case you're not aware, you are still muted. So Veratan, you can unmute yourself to speak. Whilst Joyce is also getting ready to say hello to everyone, and then we can begin this almost.
I watch it now.
Veratan, what are you watching? Okay, so you're muted now. You can say hello to us. Can we see your face? Your video is off. Vera, you have muted yourself back. So Veratan, we're waiting for you. Joyce, whilst we wait for Veratan, can you also say hello?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. I registered my sister, so I'm not the one taking it. It's my sister that's actually taking the course. Yes, sir.
Okay,
the
so
program.
where is your sister?
Yes, she's here, sir.
Okay, can you switch on the camera so that we can say hello to her?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but are you also joining her to receive the lecture as well? Joyce, you're muted now. Vera, I believe by now you should be available to say hello. MMA Kong, I doubt if your mic will work because I can see you are not connected with your audio. Can you probably log in and log out again? Oh, you're unable to unmute. Okay, host, can you please make it possible for Joyce to unmute? I don't know if Veratan also had that challenge. Yes. Joyce, I'm sure you can unmute now. Can you try it?
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's okay now, sir.
You see your face, your sister's face.
Oh, okay, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Hello. Who is that?
That's
Hello, good evening.
Okay. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, so tell me what's your name?
Treasure.
Precious.
Treasure.
Oh, pleasure.
Treasure.
Oh, treasure. Oh, my apology. Okay, that sounded a bit like pleasure. I was going to ask you that anytime people say, oh, it's my pleasure, do you always feel that they are mentioning your name? But it's all right. So, treasure. All right. How are you, treasure?
Fine, sir.
Okay, so I want to assume that you're excited because on your behalf, I'm excited and everyone here is also excited to speak with you. And so as this class progresses, occasionally you might need to just type in one or two things or responses. All right, so finally, I think I'm just going to allow one more person to speak. Veratan has finally unmuted. Veratan, hello. Can you say something as well?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
How are you? Can we see your face?
Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, yes. Good evening. How are you today?
Sir.
Okay. I want to believe that you are also excited to be at this meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be an interaction, for all of us. This will be an interactive moment for all of us. So we'll just be interacting and then be discussing. So this is lovely. Thank you so much, everyone. For those on YouTube as well, you're all welcome. All right. So how many of you have heard of this time around? You can just type, in responses.
Oh.
Just have to do a little bit of that so that I can get to know some of you. Attach a face to the names when I call the names as well. So how many of you have heard of emotional intelligence before? If you have, you can just type it in the chat. I'll read your chat even as I speak as well. So if you have heard of it, you can say, oh, yes, I have. Or you can also type, not sure. If you're not sure, and whatever it is you know about it, you can also share with us. Interestingly, we all practice emotional intelligence, whether you think you've heard that term or not, but we have all heard or done something relating to emotional intelligence. So what I'm going to do is, at this meeting, because this is going to be a conversation, so I want to make it as conversational and interactive as possible. So what we'll do is, rather than giving you theoretical explanation, we'll just have it in a simpler form, simpler term, explaining in the easiest way that is possible that you can understand. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, what do you think that would mean? I'm assuming you're racking your brain now, probably saying emotional. Is being intelligent about emotions. As Sabinos will say, smart move. I'm also thinking that smart move, right? Yeah, smart move. Intelligence, emotional. So emotional intelligence, as you may have probably guessed, has to do with being aware of feelings, emotions, so the awareness you have concerning your feeling and someone else's feelings. How intelligent are you about the way people feel? Not just about you, but how they feel. Can you read their emotions? Can you read your emotions? So having an understanding of such feelings will help you in a great way to deal and interact effectively with people. Okay? It will help you to interact with friends. It will also help you to socialize. So whether when you are all grown to start working in a company or you are even still in school, at every level, you have to interact. And I'm sure you agree with me on that. So if you have to interact, then it means that there is a need to learn how to interact effectively, not at your own detriment. So having an understanding of your own feeling and also the feelings of others. Why do you think it's important for you to have an understanding of how someone feels or even how you feel? Do you know that many a times, some of us don't pay attention to understanding our feelings, our emotions. We just react to anything. Oh, he did this. Probably you've seen a particular trend. So understanding your feelings, your emotions will also give you an edge to have a prediction of how certain actions may affect your reactions. So which means that when you have an understanding of certain things that get you excited, certain things that make you act irrationally, having this understanding of why you act the way you act, why do you think you behave the way you behave? When you are with friends, why is it that it's easy for you to just say everything, both what they ask you and what they didn't ask you? But now when you are in front of people you are not so familiar with, it's difficult for you to even talk. Some can't even make friends. It's difficult. They want to make friends, but it's tough for them making friends. Some are like, okay, me, the way I am is that I don't like being the first person to talk. I don't know how to approach. You see? Emotions, right? Understanding yourself, understanding, your feelings. Some people are extremely shy. I don't know if you are one of those people that when you're in class and your teacher is asking a question and you know the answer to that question, but you just won't raise your hand until maybe the teacher points at you and say, okay, you answer this. That's when you probably now say, oh, all right, and then you now talk. But most times, some people will just not talk. Whereas there are some people, and maybe you belong to the other category, that whether they know the answer or not, that maybe they just have a little idea, which may not even be correct. They want to talk. I say, auntie, me, auntie. Everybody just want to be the one to talk. I mean, for such people, understanding that who you are, that nature, the people you are dealing with, it is very, very essential in emotional intelligence. When we deal with emotional intelligence, we were discussing emotional intelligence. So right now, I realize that no one has made use of the chat box, but I expect you to talk before. I'm going to call your names anyway, to be able to respond to some of these things. All right. So, like I said, you need to understand your own emotions. What about in the family? So what I'm doing is that I'm painting possible scenarios that I believe you can relate with. What about in the family, your siblings? Some of you have what you call annoying siblings. Why do you think they're annoying? And it's possible that annoying sibling also look at you and say, oh, you're an annoying brother or sister. And it just looks like that. Now, if you're a teenager within the age of 18 and 19 and you're a boy, there's a possibility that everything that is being done in the house just tends to get you upset. It's like everything is just annoying you. Mom is annoying you, dad is annoying you, uncle is annoying, everybody is just annoying you. At that moment, it's like you just live alone. Nobody seems to understand you. Why do you think it's like that? All right, so that I don't even just assume. I don't want to assume that what I'm saying, that you can relate. Can I get responses if you can relate? So that way I get to know if I'm on the same page with you. Tokpa Olaya, you're welcome. Thank you for just joining us. All right, so can we have some people respond to this? Ekong, what do you think? Have you had any experience in this regard? You can type or you can unmute. Is there any way that you have found yourself in any of this kind of situation? Maybe you are too shy, or you're not the outgoing type, or you're not the type that wants to approach first, or you're the type also that want to be the first to raise their hands. You are outgoing, or you are the type that just find everything annoying in the home, in the house. Are you, Ekong? I'd like to hear from you actually. Okay. Ekong, you can unmute yourself. I can see that you. Okay, Ekong has logged off. Okay, I think she's off. Okay, anyone may just do that. Tokwe Olaya, do you want to help us out? Let's hear your opinion. I told you this will be interactive, so which means that I expect responses and feedback from you. Because in all of these, when you look at the types of emotional intelligence, one of it is called self-awareness. And self-awareness is understanding your emotions, understanding yourself, understanding your feelings, understanding why you act the way you act. Interestingly, it's funny how some teenagers, I think someone, Okay, Mama. Mama, you're welcome. I can see a name, Mama, here. You're welcome. I don't know if your audio is connected. Can you talk? Okay, and another thing is we have some people in classroom, that when a teacher asks them questions, they're afraid. They're always afraid. Don't worry, there's nothing to be afraid. Interestingly, in this class, there is no wrong or right answer. Are you with me? So no wrong or right answer. So whatever you say is correct, technically. It's your experience. So we're talking about experience. All right, so I think Mama is trying to connect now to the audio. Topo Olaya, your audio is not connected, so please try to connect to your audio so that we'll be able to hear you. Who wants to share an experience with us? Anyone? All right, so I'm going to call names because we must learn. I must learn from you. Temi Olaya. Temi Olaya, can you unmute and have your video on as well? All right, Temi.
Okay, sir.
How are you, Temi?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. And you, sir?
Fine, fine. Okay, can you have your
I'm
video
fine,
on?
thank you. And you, sir? Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'd like to see your face as well.
Hello, sir.
Oh, okay. Temi, how are you?
This is not nice. I'm fine, thank you, sir. And you, sir? How are you doing, sir?
All right. So I don't know if you heard some of the things I said earlier about you being in that situation. Also, probably maybe you just find everything quite annoying. Did you join late?
Sir? I can't hear you, sir. You're breaking.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Is it better now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right. So I said, did you join us early?
No.
Oh, okay. So, okay. I'll permit you for the question I'm about asking. So I'll permit you. But in the meantime, you're welcome for this leadership program. All right. Thank you. Okay. So I know of some people that joined very early. And I know Emmanuel joined early enough. So Emmanuel, you want to say something? Emmanuel,
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I know you joined early.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
I've found myself in such a situation before.
Which one?
The one that if you try to talk.
The one that what?
If you try to talk.
Oh, shy to talk. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, interestingly, one of the things we'll be talking about also during this training is public speaking, the act of public speaking. So we've got different speakers. All right. So do you think you're a shy person?
No, not anymore.
Oh, amazing. That's good. That's good. All right. So initially you discovered that, okay, you are usually shy to talk in public.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So how did you overcome that?
I started having presentations in church. So I would have to face a large crowd. So by doing that, I gained confidence in facing crowd.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So I'm clapping for you. Thank you, Emmanuel. That's beautiful. I'm impressed. Now I can continue with my class because I've got about few more minutes before I enter this class. So the first thing you need to practice is self-awareness. Self-awareness has to do with understanding yourself. Then, of course, you now talk about social management. The social management aspect is what I just asked you about. How did you manage it? In other words, how did you overcome those vices, if there is a vice in any part, or if there are characters or emotions that you feel you need to work on. So social management. So for instance, if you are a shy person, the best way to overcome shyness is actually is talking, talking, going for, taking responsibilities that will involve you addressing people. And before you know it, you realize that you're overcoming that fright, stage fright. But of course, I'm sure those who will talk on public speaking will do excellent justice to that. But aside that, management. So there are some people that they react to things as against responding to things. Their responses are based on they've not learned how to master impulses. So something happens and they just flare up instantly. So emotional intelligence teaches you how to manage such emotions, such character, such behavior, so that when you are dealing with your friends, because believe you me, annoyances will come always. So people will offend you. They will get you upset, right? So if people will upset you or get you upset, it means that it's inevitable for some of these things to come. So it means that you must learn how to firstly manage yourself. Someone once said that, I'm sure it's possible you may have watched that video as well, that he saw a driver driving and people were just shouting and doing all sort of things. And the driver, the passenger was wondering why the driver was not upset. And then he asked the driver, he said, how come you're not upset? Look at the way these guys are just talking to you. Why did you flare up? Because even on his behalf, it's as if the passenger wanted to flare up and say, come on, what's wrong with you guys? But then the driver just smiled and said, well, one of the things he has learned is people will always throw garbage at you. Now, it is left to you, now you respond. So it means that it is inevitable. You can't stop it. You might not be able to influence how people will talk to you sometimes or how they will behave with you. Sometimes they will want to get on your nerve, but how do you respond? Are you the type that will be quick to talk? And after talking, you'll probably have hurt your best friend. After talking, you probably would have said something that you yourself will know you didn't mean. So what do? You must learn self-management. One of the things you do is so that you learn to calm yourself by not talking. So if take, and there is this little activity they will tell you to do. They say, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That's just something to explain that whenever you are upset, whenever you are angry, don't be quick to act. Don't be quick to speak. Okay, that's for self-management. So understanding yourself, understanding your own weakness, will help you to be able to manage any of those things. And as well, of course, because there are different behavioral patterns. So which means that no matter what, we can't cover all behavioral patterns. There are different instances, different scenarios that we can make reference to that will involve or require different style, that will require different responses. So the question is, when you have certain emotional qualities that you feel need assistance, some is even anger issue. So for that, you need counselors. Yeah. So if you think you're someone who gets angry, so for such, you will need to have either mentors or, like counselors, people that you can talk to often, who can give you piece of advice. And another thing is that you must also learn to manage the emotions of others. So there is self-awareness. There is the other part, which is managing your emotions. There is the other part of understanding. Yeah, that's the word. Understanding the other person's emotions, which means, how do you understand someone's emotions? You listen. Be a good listener. Be an excellent listener. Don't be quick to jump into conclusion. Don't be quick to respond. Be a good listener. When people are talking, when somebody is angry and is like is ranting, be a good listener. Then finally, on understanding people, which has to do with also managing their emotions, is that when people when you see people who are down, you must be a motivator. Firstly, motivate yourself. Be self-motivated. Then be a good motivator. Someone who can motivate others, who can encourage. You realize that by so doing, because there is something that is so powerful that sometimes we underestimate, which is hope. Academic performance could be something that could affect the emotion of someone. Maybe in school, you've done well, the other person didn't do well. Rather than saying certain words that can even add to the depression, that can make that person to be depressed, you can give that person hope, encouragement, motivation, offer motivation, motivate them, talk to, and don't say, oh, I'm not a motivational speaker. Everybody is a motivational speaker. It's just that some are professional motivational speaker. And being motivational speaker is just about saying kind words, being optimistic about life, saying the positive part or positive side of everything, out of everything. So you must be a good listener. Now, with all sincerity, you will agree with me, because while I was talking, I made reference to siblings. And I had to use siblings because I know teenagers always talk about siblings, that they have annoying siblings. Especially if you are up to 3 or 4, either older sibling who is always frustrating you, or younger siblings who are always behaving unruly according to you. So how do you manage that? What about even parents? Emotional intelligence, when it seems as if maybe your parents are just too hard on you. It looks maybe the expectation is too high. Your parents' expectation is too high. You don't even know how to manage that kind of expectation. You don't know how to manage that kind of emotion. You don't know how to manage the expectation of you. What do you do? Remember, counseling, mentorship. Counseling and mentorship will help. Now, talking about siblings, remember, one of the things that we've realized amongst teenagers, and not just teenagers, maybe more of the female gender, is an aspect called body shaming. Most teenagers are depressed because they are not even confident about their look. They're not confident about their structure. Is it that some believe that, they don't have big body parts, or they have too big body parts? Is it that some believe that they are too short, or they are too tall? No, usually they don't think they're too tall. I think it's usually the shortness that people think about. So these things are part of things that could even affect people's emotions. So when you are dealing with people, or maybe you are even the one, firstly, you need to go for mentorship. You need to be under mentorship, because some of these things have to do with consistent counseling. And aside consistent counseling, in the aspect of body shaming, because there's a part you also need to play, ensure that the words that come out of your mouth are kind words. Because many a times we just use certain part of the body to abuse our friends, and we say we are yapping them, but some of these things, if you are emotionally intelligent, you have an understanding that, okay, these people might be sensitive. So you are also sensitive to the fact that these people have different needs. These things could affect them. When you have a boy, maybe he has a tiny voice, and then the next thing is that you begin to call him a girl. Those things may have impact on your relationship with other people. So don't forget, be a good listener, be a motivator, get a mentor or mentee or counselor, and what else again? I think that's all. That's it. All right. So thank you. I want to believe you have questions for me, because, like I said, this is an introductory class. This is just something to bring to welcome you. We have seasoned speakers. I'm telling you, speakers, you will enjoy every session. with all of our speakers that will be enlightening you each day. The next one is on Wednesday. I've got someone who is well seasoned and ready to take you on all of this. But one of the things I realized is that some of you joined late. We didn't start until 5:04 and the introductory aspect. So please, next time we'd like you to join. But at this point, can I have just one person to ask me one question? At the minimum, you can have more people to join to ask questions, but can I have one question, please, from someone? Can someone ask me a question? And if you don't have a question, you can make a comment before I make the announcement. Okay. Emmanuel is saying something. When you are body shamed, jokingly, should you joke with them or just ignore? Thank you for that question. To be honest, I think you have given a wise response, even in your question. Most times, it's better to just ignore. But, because we understand the way teenagers are, and I mean the way teenagers are in the sense that sometimes they like to use what pains you more, and use it against you. So if they realize that in ignoring them, you are looking morose, sad, they will continue. So next time they will say it again because they just want to get on your nerve. So most times, excellent response you've given, just joke about it. Just smile. Not joke about it whereby you begin to laugh at you and you begin to condemn your own body, no. But just smile over it, and if you can quickly change that topic, change it. If you can walk away, or you ignore. But just don't try also to come to the level of body shaming, whereby you look at them and you say the same thing. And I think most teenagers are falling into this body shame at one time or the other. I mean, it's something that I think is common to most people. So I don't know if I've answered your question. The person who asked that question, I've answered your question. Can I have more questions? Okay, so I love that question. That was an intelligent one. Can I have more? Can people ask me more questions? You can unmute if you don't want to type, something, or you can make a comment. If there's a comment, if there's a question, can you just go ahead, please? Anyone who is unmuting? Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll assume that there is no question. So permit me to ask one or two questions. Temi Olaya, if you have siblings, if you have siblings who are very, very annoying, how do you think you will handle them? How should you handle them?
Well, it depends though.
Okay.
Sometimes I can ignore them.
Okay.
Or sometimes I can discipline them.
Okay, let's assume we are talking about both younger and older siblings.
Okay. Older siblings.
Yeah.
If it's annoying, it will be with the boys though. Well, they'll try to look for your trouble. You just ignore them, actually. You just ignore them. But the younger ones, they are growing up. They don't know some things. You can also ignore them, and you also have to discipline them. So, yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That was also intelligent. I know I put you on the spot. I want to add to what she's saying, because while she was saying that, I just remember something. Please, if you also have friends that are always body shaming you, or, who are not sensitive to you, it is always good sometimes after you've had conversation. So one of the things you can do is have conversation, even among siblings. But you may not have conversations when they are annoying. Have a conversation with them when they are happy, when there is nothing relating to that. Bring that topic up, but look serious about it. Let them know, look, I'm not really comfortable with this. I know you've been doing this thing. just have to tell you. But if that person is not changing, then you might probably distance yourself a little bit. But for siblings, you can't distance yourself. So discuss with them if they are not listening. I doubt if siblings body shame, but in case they do, and this has gone beyond just body shaming alone, that's just an aspect. There is also an authority in the house that you can talk to. And don't forget counseling and mentorship as well. Beautiful response from Olaya. All right, so I'm thinking Verathan must be having it in her mind that I will call her. So Verathan, over to you. I want to ask you a question, please. If you had a friend who is depressed, who feels depressed, maybe because of academic performance, what do you think what should you do for such a friend? Verathan, kindly unmute. Okay. Verathan. Okay, whilst we're waiting for Verathan. Okay, I think she has typed. Okay, well, I'll tell the person to work hard, which is simply like encouragement, right? Encouragement. Okay, so my final question for today is for Rotimi Awojobi. So can we have Rotimi Awojobi? So I want to put you on the spot by making an assumption. My assumption is that you've just got into a fight with a friend, okay? And this friend is your best friend. But whilst you were arguing, you said something that you felt and you know you shouldn't have said. And that really hurts your friend. How do you remedy this? How do you correct it? Rotimi Awojobi, can you unmute yourself, please?
I will go apologize to him.
Okay, you will apologize.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, thank you so much. That is that's an excellent response, and there's nothing else to add to that than just to apologize. So after apologizing, ensure that next time you also watch what you say. Remember what we said? So from today, I want you to take note of what you say. Okay, take note of what you say and how you say it to your friends. At this point, we want to bring this meeting to a close, but I have a little assignment for all of you, and it is very important that you do this assignment, okay? So the assignment is that I want you to list out some of the insensitive things or ways that you have behaved, that you think you still behave. I want you to list them out, okay? Just write them out. Maybe the way you behave with friends, family, some of your insensitive, that you feel, okay, this is insensitive. That means you are not being emotionally intelligent with the way you relate, even yourself, understanding yourself as well. Just list out some of these things, okay? Then in front of them, or propose solution, what you think you would do differently, henceforth. Submit it. There's a platform where you submit these things. It's on learn.liblacademy.com. But some of this will be communicated to you on WhatsApp. I know some of you are already on that group. If there's any question you have, you can post it on that group. The group will be made open for all of you so that you can make comments and ask questions and make suggestions as well. So we've come to the end of today's class, but just a few announcements. The first thing I want you to understand is, for this announcement, is that this training is free, Okay, so the training is free. We've got different speakers who are seasoned, and I believe that they are working, preparing so diligently and smartly to make sure that you learn something great during this training. Mine is just to come and give you an introductory class, welcome notes, and move on, and then join the class as well, be a participant. But as we go on, attendance is key. And what I mean by attendance, I'm talking about activities. So you will be doing some activities that after the class, someone will come and tell you what activity that you will be engaging. Some of your activities will be as a group. So there is a group that has been formed. That is, all the students have been formed in groups. Your own group, you'll find out on the WhatsApp group. We're going to post the group list on the WhatsApp group. So you identify your group so that when next you are giving assignment or activities, not necessarily individual assignment, but activities, those activities, some of them will involve you to do it as a group. It is these activities that we will use to assess you and to grade you if you did well or not. Now, if you want certification, you can reach out to any of the admin or the numbers on the flyer that you saw. That is if you want to collect certificate at the end of this training, it will be at a token. But I'm sure if you reach out to any of the admin, they will enlighten you on the token involved. But of course, it is very important before you can even get certificate, you must have participated in these activities. So there will be activities as we go on, during this training. For those who have missed a class, so if you miss a class also, there is a platform where you can watch so that you don't miss the activities or the assignment given to you, along the way. So at the end of this, I will wish you success. Please be punctual in class. And I don't know if there's anyone who wants to ask me a question or need clarification on any matter. Also, the timetable is out. The timetable, I'm sure, I don't know if it's been posted on the group, but I think many of you may have got the timetable for this training. So please be ready. There will be a PowerPoint material that will be sent to you. So at the end of each class, you will get a PowerPoint material for all the classes. You'll be directed to where you can have access to these PowerPoint materials so that you can read them and study them in case you want to read some other things. So that's why the classes will be very engaging. Okay, Rotimi said we are good, sir. Good. Thank you for responding, Rotimi. So we just want it to be very engaging, and we want you to be able to interact effectively. All right, thank you. In the absence of any other question or comment, I want to welcome you once again to the TLT the TLIT 2022 training. Thank you so much for joining. And for those on YouTube, don't worry, I won't be the one taking the class next time. So I'll be able to see those on YouTube. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you around.